In the battles of tomorrow, the team that adapts first wins. Welcome to the BattleLab. I'm Garrett Smith, your host, CEO and founder of Reveal Technology and Marine Combat veteran. I'm joined by my co-hosts Phil Divinski and Jerad Watlington.
I'm Phil Divinski, veteran of the Army Special Operations Community and CEO and founder of Jeddoc.
And I'm Jerad Watlington, 20-year veteran of U.S. Army Special Operations and the COO at Jeddoc. Before we get into today's episode, I want to provide a brief personal example about the advantage that humans bring to the battlefield as opposed to technology. When I think back on my 20 years of experience, I think about the great successes and the great tragedies that I experienced in battlefields all across the Middle East and in conflict zones across the world. Those successes usually originated from human creativity and innovation. Seeing a difficult problem, iterating and adapting in real time, communicating to each other, and against all odds, coming up with a solution. And when I think about the most tragic failures or the most tragic losses that I had to endure, it often had to do with the loss of a teammate. And usually that was a result of complacency or arrogance. We made too many assumptions about what the enemy knew and how they were postured, and we didn't take the appropriate actions when we needed to prevent risk becoming too much of an issue. At Jeddoc, we use that as a foundation for how we approach problems and how we partner with companies just like Reveal to come up with real solutions that can apply to the battlefield today and into the future.
In episode 3 of the BattleLab, we're going to put tactics, techniques, and technology to the test in a new scenario called Organic Strike. The Organic Strike scenario requires that one team, Team Alpha, occupy a defensive position and defend an antenna mast that simulates a command and control or ground control station, while Team Xray attempts to assault into that position with standoff capabilities, specifically bomber drones and first-person view, one-way attack or strike platforms. It requires that within the 15-minute limit of the scenario, they quickly identify and then deliver effects onto that command and control node.
For scoring, it'll be the exact same as strong point and contested exfil. Scoring will be based on 5 categories. 20 points for mission success, 5 points per human kill, 2 points per drone kill, up to 5 points for resource efficiency, and up to 5 points for tactical surprise. In the event of a tie, the fastest team to achieve mission success wins. Black 77 will compile and report final scores.
In today's scenario, Team Xray will be led by Phil in Black Multicam.
So for this one, for Xray team, we are absolutely all drones. So we'll have our 4-man team, but we can't physically maneuver onto the arena where the ground control station or antenna mast would be. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break into 2 individuals will be focused on ISR and 2 individuals will be focused on that strike platform and bombers. And we really focus on how we centralize our strike drill, identify the location of the target, and then put effects.
Jerad in Green Multicam will be leading Team Alpha.
No change to Team Alpha's composition. 4 ground maneuver elements equipped with drone detection devices and video feed interceptors, and then really our ability to be creative and innovative while the action is going on.
So last episode, we were executing a scenario called contested exfiltration. Phil, what did you and Team Xray learn during the contested exfil scenario that you're bringing into the Organic Strike scenario in episode 3?
Our ability to gain situational awareness and then employ fires at standoff was extremely successful in contested exfil. So we'll be focused on that for Organic Strike for a lot of different reasons. And then what we're going to continue to work on improving is our technique, because the big change going into this one is we're a different composition. Now we have to work together as a team all at one location, and we've got to do it in a centralized manner. Vice before, we were completely decentralized and doing a lot of autonomous work to support each other. Now we've got to all work as one machine.
Jerad, Team Alpha is going to be in the defense for all 4 of the iterations of this 3rd episode in Organic Strike. What did you take from the contested exfil scenario that you're going to bring into this scenario?
Yeah, I'm hopefully channeling all the frustrations that we had about their ability to use the drones to build standoff and attrit us at a distance, which they did extremely effectively in episode number 2. Episode number 3, the difference is that even though the compositions are roughly the same, the difference is that now we own the battle space. We get to control as much of it before they have to intrude on that. And so we're gonna hopefully use that to our advantage to basically attrit them before they get to us.
Team Xray is going to be in the offense. Team Alpha is going to be in the defense. Let's get into round 1.
All right, round 1, Organic Strike, right? So A team's gonna be on defense the whole day, and Xray team's gonna be on offense. They've got all the drone capability. Our goal is to defend the ground control station antenna. We have 4 people and the resources we have within the team to make it happen. Range is hot!
Good, drones up.
I'm at 80 feet right now. You tell me.
ISR drone overhead, 200 feet, northeast corner.
We've taken our 2 assault team members, Jack and I. We're focused on the ISR, trying to fix the location of this ground control station.
Let's see if we draw them out. They're expecting us. Let's take 1 FPV, act like you're doing an attack run on that, and let's see if we draw them out. And then if you survive that attack run, be ready to hit humans.
We've set in several decoys around the playing field, designed to look exactly like an actual ground control station that you would see on today's battlefields.
Yeah, let's go check out both. Because there's something below that one too. The actual one might be right below it, because there's 2 there. Keep hunting with the Mavic 3.
Bomber over the north end of the target, sinking low, and a one-way attack at about 30 feet on the north end of the target.
There was a lot of decoys, so a lot of it is like we think we have things, but we're not really sure.
All right, we now have 2 ISR drones on the southeast corner, one at about 60 feet and one at about 50 feet. And they are scanning the southern part of the target. Oh, good for us. Attack drone caught in the tree on the north end of the target. Just leave it alone for now. I think it's gonna kill itself.
This is Alpha 2. I have 1 in sight and it's hovering like right over the center of the village. I think they're investigating that fake antenna.
Did you check the antenna in the middle with the Mavic 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's for sure decoy?
Yeah, it looks like a decoy.
It doesn't look like it's any of the ones north of building 7.
Even when we strike something, we're relying on feedback that we accomplished the mission. And so we're doing what we think are strikes, but we don't hear the air horn. So we're like, oh shit, well that's not it.
All right, that's a successful engagement on the one-way RPG drone. Got the RPG drone! We wanted to draw you guys in as close as we could so we can engage you with our small arms, and it turned out to work pretty well. A great line of sight analysis pre-mission allows us to figure out like where are the most likely places for them to come in and try to strike.
Right.
And now we funnel all of our, or at least most of our attention and our defense posture towards those areas because knowing that they're gonna have to come in that way. Hey, we're at 2 minutes left. They're gonna get desperate. One minute.
There's a chair on the east side. There's a campfire pit that's on the south side of the target.
Asshole. Come on down.
You just need to fly right over that campfire pit and just plant it right next to the tree. If you just land at the base of the tree, that's a kill. Just land it at the base of that tree.
All right.
Got it.
Right there. Yep.
5,
Yep. Land it.
4, 3,
I can
2,
Okay.
1. I just.
Big win for A-Team. We successfully engaged at least 3 or 4 of their drones. I think their strategy from the start was to saturate the overhead environment out of our small arms effective range, and then try to find the targets from up at over 100 feet. After the minutes started ticking by and they couldn't do that, it forced them to come in lower and start checking out more targets, and that allowed us to shoot them. Exactly what we wanted.
It took us quite a while to go ahead and find and fix the target. And then we had a lot of challenges with our VTX on our FPV drones, our actual drones with effectors. So we lost a couple drones just because they lost video, and therefore we couldn't hit the target.
So that's the end of run 1. Lessons learned going into round 2. Sounds like a lot of decoy action, a lot of misapprehension, a lot of just analysis, failed Xray, and deceit and deception, played to the strengths of Alpha. What's next?
What's next is for us is a hard lesson for me that I'm ready to apply after a frustrating day the day before, is You get a win, you quickly analyze what led to that win, and then you reapply that. We felt like they were so ineffective on the first iteration that it didn't make sense to change anything at all.
Sure.
And then let them prove to us that they know what they're doing with the equipment they have.
What about Xray? What are you doing next?
Yeah,
round
I mean, we basically got smoked that run because we still, at this point, have no idea where the antenna mast is. So, like, great decision by Jerad to, like, not change his pattern because we don't really have an understanding of the pattern. What the big takeaway for me is I totally underestimated our ability to quickly analyze and use like our surveillance tools. We were actually at way more of a disadvantage than I expected. So because of that, I knew that I didn't have additional technology, additional tools to solve that problem. How do I get more humans in to help us with that? And then how can we be more aggressive with our sensors to try to find the platform?
Let's go to run number 2.
Going to hopefully follow up on our success from the first round by employing a lot of the same strategy, but adding some dynamic movement in there. So we moved some people around. They're also going to be have the freedom of movement on the target this time, based on what they're seeing.
I'm expecting them to do very similar to what they just did. Turns out we didn't win that last round. We struck the wrong target, which means they concealed really well and used decoys. So I think they're just going to continue that game. It worked for them the first round, so they'll probably try it again on the second.
All right, first ISR drone en route north to south.
All right, tell me when you're ready.
Attack drones in the AO. Alpha team's defensive posture looks exactly the same as the one before. We did move a couple of the decoys around, but we're going to stick to what works. Good, solid, static defensive positions, lots of communication.
All right, looks like they got decoys in a triangle, potentially decoys.
We're just trying to move through these quadrants much quicker in order to identify it.
Oh, you know what those are? Those are cameras.
Sure.
Those are not decoys, they're cameras.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go look at what I thought was the target last time and see if that's still there.
I don't think you're hitting it, man. Brian, what are you shooting at?
That thermal drone high?
Yeah, that's pretty far, dude.
Yeah.
We're actually bringing in the bomber here with the droppable on it, and it has a digital camera, so it has a little bit increased fidelity. So we're trying to use that to confirm the target, so we brought in a different drone platform.
All right, bomber drone coming in on the east side, moving north to south, and hovering at about under 100 feet.
I got eyes on.
There's one right on top of you, Jerad.
Oh, baby, here we go. Come on down. Come on. The bomber was a huge game changer from our perspective because you could keep it outside of small arms range, and there's not much we could do about that. Bomber now on the east side, moving towards the center of the target area.
Yep, that's a kill.
Yeah, get that fucker out of here.
There's a door, an open door, and there's something hanging out of a window. Just go land right next, offset to the right of the door. Yep, go land next to the door. Yep, keep going.
We were expecting them to take an unconventional approach from the south, one that had a lot more high trees and it was higher risk. So we were definitely expecting them to do something out of the ordinary. All right, they just did a strike on that decoy that's hanging out the window.
And I want you to go about 5 feet towards the building south of the campfire pit, and then I want you to drop smoke. All right, I got somebody's second story. How much time we got?
Might be too far.
I'm on the north side of the door, scanning towards the pins.
Now it's down in low, in the target AO.
Keep on to the horn.
18 seems to have pulled out the victory there. They definitely got more aggressive. Launched 2 strikes on the center building there on one of our decoys. So obviously that was a really good distraction. Killed a handful of their drones, and they expended a few too without actually hitting the target. So it seems like a big win for A.
What worked better this time was our overall execution of the strike drill. So we found a target, and then we were much better and more timely with getting some sort of effect, whether it was a one-way attack and also dropping ammunition from our bomber. So we were able to do both. What failed is we were on the wrong target. So, and then we just ran out of time to find another target.
Okay, so that's a wrap on run 2. Would you say that you hit a plateau in the training value of this scenario after the second iteration?
100%. Like at this point, Xray team, we are smoked. We do not have enough intelligence in order to build a precision level understanding of where that target is to put a strike on it. So with that, we layered in another form of intelligence. So we'll have a signals intelligence start point. So we'll basically have a 10-digit grid of the vicinity of where that antenna mast is at. And so now we have that start point, and we can start using our ISR platforms to focus in one specific area instead of a 500 by 500 meter area.
Well, let's see if we can extract the learnings in run 3.
A group made a gentleman's agreement to change the rules a little bit and allow the attacking team to understand the general vicinity of where the target C2 node is.
So now what we're gonna do is rapidly get eyes on that 5-meter circle, refine exactly where the target is, and they're gonna be ready to quickly do a one-way attack and a bomber run on that location. That's dear thing.
We've now changed the constraints to allow for more experimentation and more iteration.
All right, what altitude are you at?
So we basically took a 500 by 500 meter area, and now we've shrunk it down into a few meters.
Just remember, they're probably gonna try to engage anything static.
All right, yep, ISR now moving to the center of the target area, hover at about 120 feet.
Are you guys on the south or north side of it?
I'm on the northwest side.
I'm gonna go south.
Okay.
Get that angle.
I think, yeah, you got a good engagement there. You gotta call them off.
Let's lead with the bomber. Danny, you talk them on.
Truck covered. That's it.
Yeah.
Truck covered right here. You're coming in from this direction.
I'm gonna come in.
Yep.
I'm gonna go.
This is building 1. Directly to it. You can slip right in through here. I could probably drop FPVs there too. If
Let's
you
get
want.
FPVs ready if the bomber doesn't work.
There we go.
Yep, that's a kill.
And we'll go in to hunt the people with the FPV.
Okay. I can stay.
They're in that more western building.
We had that FPV go in initially, and then we maneuvered in our bomber.
Attack drone coming in.
Did they strike? They gotta fly faster than that.
All right, drone going out.
We were more or less expecting it like a continual onslaught. As soon as one thing failed, they have another thing right in there. And I think that's pretty much what we saw.
Hey, we got another attack drone.
Here we go, come on in.
Okay, I'm gonna come in from the top of the building.
Yeah, it's dead.
Yeah.
So you see right there, we tried to do a strike on it where we brought the FPV basically through the tree and put it right on the antenna mast. It gave a lot of exposure for Alpha Team in order to engage it. And then it obviously made challenging. We're trying to get that through that tree that is basically creating standoff and protecting it.
Yeah, he's hanging low in the northeast corner, coming around on the east side of your building, Alpha 2.
Yep, let's get that bomber set up. Our last play here is the bomber. We've put 2 good one-ways into the target area. Now let's get the bomber.
Yeah, one right above the target location, now doing circles.
We know the tree's there, but we can drop munition through the tree. It lands right on top of the antenna mast because we have it fixed now. We know exactly where it's at.
Oh, bomber drone. Bombs away! Got it.
Yep. Where'd the bomb go?
It landed out to the east.
All right.
Ineffective.
2 minutes. All right, you got time to get there, you think?
Yep.
All right, just your goal is to tap it.
Which one am I tapping?
Just go tap the vehicle there in the trees.
The one we just hit?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they had a malfunction with this with the bomb. Come on down. Yeah, RPG drone coming in hot.
Coming in.
North to south.
You're going in. You're going
Nice. Hell yeah.
I mean, I could be dead from that.
So basically right here, we had a malfunction from the FPV bomber. We dropped ammunition in the wrong spot because the servo didn't work of dropping it. We absolutely had him dead to rights. We were ready to drop through the tree. It malfunctioned, and we brought it back, and then the round actually came off on the flight back. But again, this is the normal of using cheap portable systems.
Hey, there he is.
5, 4, 3.
They knew where the target was. They got some strikes in. The question is did they get shot down before they were able to strike? From our vantage point, no drone made it safely within 15 meters of the actual target. So that's what we'll argue.
Right now it's contested. So we think we were on the target. We think we had good effects, but ultimately the other team might have shot those drones down. We're not quite sure yet.
That's a wrap on round 3. We changed some of the variables and constraints so that we were extracting a bit more learning out of it. What was the bottom line for you, Phil?
Yeah, so way easier to fix the target, to identify the target, and then start working strike missions. So the majority of our focus was on how do we put a munition on target. Still very challenging in order to either get the tech to work effectively or to create that corridor in order to put the effect on.
And it sounds like tipping and queuing between multiple intelligence modalities, so to speak, is a pretty essential sequence of steps
Incredibly
there.
essential.
Otherwise, you're reliant on the human eyeball to figure out where the target is, and with a really good deception or camouflage plan from the defense, that's a rough one.
We found something that worked. We continue to iterate on it and use it to our success. Going into this last iteration, we deliberately changed the location, provided a 10-digit grid based on signals intelligence,
right,
and then tried to employ different decoys in a different way.
Well, let's get into run 4.
We're gonna really mix things up a little bit. We've got one of the decoys mounted in the back of the UTV. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get them to strike that, drawing their attention to it, and then getting on it and driving it around and making it mobile, and see if we can get them to follow us around and strike us.
We're going to be ready to use some FPVs as decoys to draw some of the ground fire as we bring in a strike platform. It's going to be the main change going into here. Looks like it's either in this building or it's just to the south here in the tree. Just to give you another orientation, there's the village. Looks like right in the center. That's building 7. And then it's just to the northeast, so it would be building 1. So it's on the south side of building 1 in between the trees in that location. And just orienting again, the campfire is up here on the north side. So it's on the south side of the campfire building. Got it? Got it. All right, let's do our game plan. Get ISR up and then put strike.
We take an FPV from the south, we take an FPV from the east, and then also get the bomber as a backup. So just because we were having unreliability with that dropper of getting the munition off, so we now got a 3-layered approach of how we're gonna strike.
All right, I see a ISR drone inbound from the southeast edge.
There are only so many good locations to move the ground control station to, so we just picked the one that we thought would provide the best avenues of defense,
right,
as opposed to what would be the most concealing. And then we provided a decoy in the form of the UTV parked right next to the actual antenna that looked a lot like a real antenna.
All right, we got a vehicle with looks like an antenna mast on it. We got to make sure that's not a decoy though. So possible target right there, just on the top of that.
I've got eyes on it. Looks like another just ISR.
All right, now that one is moving over the target location and hover above my location. Look up to your right, See him up there? Yeah.
We got
Just
one
drop
person
down.
watching it.
Yeah, one person's in that 7 for each.
Yep.
Where's the target at?
Coming back around. It's in the masked by those trees.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do is do an orbit and make sure that they don't have it offset from the vehicle and they have it in that tree. Okay, so there's
see it.
some sort of antenna there, but there may also be in this tree. But there's a guy right there in that breach, and then the target's right there.
Come from the west side.
Yep, go
come
ahead.
in straight through here.
Yeah, no,
Try to
there's
hit
an antenna
right
mast right there in the tree.
Okay, I'll just
Yep,
pop it right
that's
there.
So yeah, so hit it at the base, hit the base of the tree.
Is it safe to say that when they move like that, it knows that's when they know they got shot?
Bomber, put one right into the tree.
And I'm going to the base,
Favor, yeah, you're going to the base. Just hit the base of that tree. And definitely approach from the south.
Yeah, one up there above the tree line. I got one at 200 feet above the tree line on the west side. Attack drone in the AO. RPG, that looks like a Claymore drone. As soon as we knew that they were ready to employ effects on the target, was to create separation between those two and then force them to make a decision. It is on the north side, moving to the west side. Okay. Let's go. Yep. Go, 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 go.
No, go for the base of the tree. Go for the base of the tree.
The FPV pilot is talking to me and like, hey, do I follow him? Do I follow him? And I go, no, stay on target, stay on target.
Base of the tree.
Going.
Right down. Yep, good. Yep, that's it.
After they got the 10-digit grid, they saturated the area really well and then used their high-def cameras to probably discern that the difference between our decoy and the actual C2. So the ruse that we tried to pull by driving away in the vehicle, just they weren't falling for it and they struck the main target. So
There was a decoy on a vehicle. So one of the keys to success was we didn't get fixated on the decoy. We had to make a really quick decision when the A team decided to move the decoy at which target to strike. And ultimately we stayed with what was most likely the target, made that quick decision, and then put the one-way into the antenna mast that was hidden next to the tree. Our team just got more efficient with our strike drill.
Okay, so that's the fourth and final run through Organic Strike. A couple of notes here. I know, Phil, we talked a little bit about Xray needing to open up air corridors or aviation whatever corridors for the strike platforms, targeting the humans on the Alpha team. Was that a factor that you really injected into this run, or were you still focused on the mission and the strike on the pylon?
Yeah, so we were still focused on the mission, but we layered better our strike platform. So we essentially had 3 levels of redundancy ready to go before we even initiated the first strike. So, and that's what allowed us to quickly have the flexibility to make that decision. One of the other technology and technique changes that we made is I, as the team leader, used one of our drone detectors to watch what the FPV pilot was watching, plus I had the ISR feed as well. And if I didn't have that situational awareness, I wouldn't have been able to make that decision so quickly.
Right. What was your thinking on the Alpha team side about use of that decoy in that kind of terminal few minutes?
mobile ground control stations are a real thing, right? They're not as effective, but it's a great way of like extending the life of your fighting unit. And we were hoping that a decoy like that would have been a tasty target for a drone pilot. So I'm really interested to know, like, in the previous iterations, you're talking about delegating the authority for strikes down to your pilots, but in this particular case, you kept that. Why?
Yeah, so in this case, we were basically taking 4 people. It was about precision. So it was about taking 4 people with a bunch of different platforms and making them into a precise team. And Vice in Strong Point and Contested Exfil, we needed a lot more decentralization because we're trying to cover bigger areas, we're trying to build situational awareness, and we're trying to employ effects in support of maneuver. In this case, we're just trying to put an effect quickly into one specific target. So we wanted to hone everything into that.
Awesome.
Centralize.
Well, that's a wrap on the first season of BattleLab. So let's go back to why we did this in the first place. It was to demonstrate that the team that wins is often the one that can adapt and overcome challenges in the tactical environment the fastest. And in this case, Alpha Team with Jerad and his fellows were the clear winners. And this was because at the human level, they were able to adapt and overcome most quickly and most dynamically and creatively in this environment.
As a team, Jeddoc and Reveal adapted the scenarios as well. And I think that's the big takeaway for like future iterations of Jeddoc is that adaptation cycle is happening within the teams. We saw it play out over how many episodes, but also like how do we adapt on the fly the event to get the most out of the experimentation iteration cycle, and watching the results in real time and staying, being transparent and open to communication allows us to iterate that and adapt quickly.
I know some of my favorite parts of the whole season were when we did some of the most audacious and some of the most surprising acts in the whole thing. For example, on that fourth iteration for Xray team of offense on strong point, we felt completely frustrated, but that led us to do something completely out of the playbook or the norm, and that was really cool to go through there. Even when we learned more out of that, but it was great to have the ability to go ahead and try something that other people, or if we were just whiteboarding this, we'd be like, oh no, we should never try that. But we did. We saw a huge advantage of it, and we also saw a downside. And then I also think it was really cool through contested exfil to see like the power of drones as far as standoff, and like how that can be extraordinarily humbling right now on the battlefield, and how important it is that small units and infantrymen really do something about that and get it integrated into their systems and processes.
Yeah, I'm tempted to say my favorite moment was right when you announced Alpha Team as the winner right there. But beyond that, thinking back now, how frustrating and just like in a highly competitive environment, that exact scenario, contested exfil, really like focused into the minute details about how we can find the smallest weaknesses. And I think by the end of that, despite all that frustration, we had made some pretty good progress.
So many Western and American military units simply have never experienced having stuff from the adversary overhead. And so I think witnessing live the frustration on the operators' faces, on your faces, when you're pinned down or otherwise constrained by overhead ISR or strike platforms, man, that is terrifying to consider and should be motivational for any unit thinking about how to better employ technology and how to better counter the deployment of enemy technology in that space. So Jerad, what's the big learning point for you and Alpha Team coming out of season 1 and considering going into a season 2?
It's hard for me not to displace the title of like the most important lesson always is brilliance in the basics wins, because that sets a really solid foundation for like no matter what type of training you're doing.
What's Xray Team's major learning coming out of season 1 and prep for season 2?
It's technology isn't a silver bullet. So the tech provides a relative advantage. We go back in history, the stirrup was emerging tech, the machine gun, the tank, the airplane. At some point, those were emerging tech. And they went mainstream, they provided a relative advantage with them. But the most important thing there layered in it is you have humans that are trying to figure out how do we use that technology with our tactics and our techniques in order to be the most lethal on the battlefield with it.
One of the observations that I had coming out watching both Xray and Alpha operating in this environment was that speed and violence of action are still highly relevant, but it's only effective when it's effectively employed by humans who are making good decisions in that environment. Well, that's a wrap for season 1 of the BattleLab. We're looking forward to bringing you yet another high learning, high adrenaline season 2.